episode 71 of Series 5 of Master League Story Mode. Now I've got a lot to get through in this episode, a lot of thanks to begin with. I'm going to start with the most obvious thing here. There is Thiago Mendes, a player possibly not long for this team. But as you can see, he is wearing the new Leeds kit. Yes, it's absolutely beautiful. So you may have noticed only a few days ago I put out a call to any budding kit creators who might want to design us a new Leeds kit. And I did say that a Yorkshire tea sponsor would probably be the way forward. And quite a few of the people who entered did. Huge thank you to everyone who entered. So that's Nick, Ruben, Eden, Marcus, Josh, John and Nari. Great work to you all. But unfortunately for you guys, the winner was Brooks, and these are his kits here. We'll look at the rest of them when we get into the Bromby game, but Brooks wins £20, and we have a great new Jordan brand kit as well. Yeah, that's right. I think the PSG Jordan brand shirt is because they actually are sponsored by Nike, but Jordan brand is a subsidiary of Nike. I guess that's how it worked, but anyway, we're getting a Jordan brand kit for this season. Not something you'd expect out of Yorkshire, and I really do like the juxtaposition of Jumpman and Yorkshire Tea. Taylors of Harrogate logo. I'm liking the shirts anyway. It's a step forward into a more modern look. But there were some other great shirts from some of the guys who contributed to this competition. So thank you to all of you. Unlucky, and maybe we'll do another one soon, or for next season. Absolutely we will. But I'm very pleased with that. So hopefully with a fresh new kit we can start afresh this season. And we're going to have to start strongly because today, well, we've got our first of two legs against Bromby in this Champions League qualifier. We would really like to make it into the group stage. It would be horrible to go out now, having been handed that lifeline to make it in, even though we finished 5th. Obviously, one of the teams above us won the Champions League. We never quite got to the bottom of that, but they must have done. So the other thank you I have to give out is to the guys in the PES Story Mode Discord channel, but also all of you who commented on the last episode with your suggestions. I genuinely was going to reply to everyone, and then I got home and I had like 50 comments, and I thought, well, I can't just reply to one or two of you. It would be unfair, but I did read all of your comments and I took on board all of your advice. And it varied wildly between you've got to sell Maxi, he's got to go, or how the fuck can you sell Maxi Romero, he's the best striker in the world, you'd be a fool. And yeah, I've been racking my brains all week, but specifically the guys in the Discord channel, which if you haven't already joined, then you really should. There's 100 people in there now, and this is where a lot of decisions get made about this channel. But not the final decisions. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, special shout out to Ricardo in the Discord channel. He actually made a spreadsheet. He properly went in on this, lining up all the options for players that we could sell versus the money that we need to bring in a fair amount of players. And yeah, that really helped. So we'll get into the detail of that in a second. But you might well be interested in what would be the headline transfer this season that we considered last time, which would be Maxi Romero leaving for 26 million to Nantes. Now, this vote went to the patrons over on Patreon, the people supporting this channel every month with their kind donations. And yeah, it was pretty close, but in the end, they voted to save Maxi Romero, so we will not be finding that 26 million. But what I did also realise, and no one noticed, if you look to the right hand side here, he does have a 30% selling on options, so a fair bit of money would go back to PSV, his old club. I think we would have only ended up with 18 million for him, which is just a hair over his market value, so that wouldn't have been a great option. Cliver is the other player we maybe could sell, and that's one that a lot of you were debating in the comments and in the Discord. It would seem to be the right option, but we've had such a small bid for him that would seem silly, because you know he's our highest rated player, highest rated outfield player anyway, and he's still only 22 years old. So luckily I think we might be able to keep him and still do a respectable job in this window. And the way we're going to do it is by selling Mendes and by selling Martinez. Now we don't need Mendes particularly if we bring in either Fosu Mensah or the other guy, Chindozi I think his name was, one of those two. And then we'll have Patterson as a backup there. Martinez is a sort of backup. He is a good player. We have had to use him occasionally, but I think we're going to cash him in. We're not going to get a whole lot done in this episode because it's mainly games to play, but we're going to try and just get a little bit more money for both Martinez and Mendes because it's going to be very tight when it comes to the end of this window. So we need every penny we can. So an extra 500,000 there, almost an extra million between the two, could really be useful for us. Let's go back to the players we've got lined up. Now, by using Ricardo's spreadsheet, we've worked out that we should just about be able to sign Sessegnon, Gnabry and Chidozi if we sell Martinez and Mendes, and also Shaughnessy going out. That would only leave us with 4 on the bench, so we'd have to sign a keeper as well to get that 5th player on the bench. If we only have 5 reserves, it doesn't look great, sure, but this is the place we are now. This is the reality we're living in. So if we can get that done, I'll be pretty pleased. So let's see if we can just shave off a bit of cash from these as well. We could take... It's probably not even worth it for the 100,000 there. We'll give it a go. Try and get a little money off Chidozie. Might as well try it with Fossey Mensah as well in case Chidozie does break down. Another 100,000 off there. Why not? Every little helps. Sessegnon, I don't know if there's much room for negotiation here, but it's actually going to be the salary budget that we're going to struggle with the most. Transfer fee, I think we can keep the same. I don't think it's worth the risk to knock that down, but if we could get anything off here, by just whacking his goal, win, and appearance bonuses all the way up, taking that down to 1.6. We could give him a release fee. He doesn't seem too bothered about that. Could make it a 2-year. Right, we'll give him a 2-year, just so you know he can leave if he really wants to. Get that down to 1.6 could be crucial when it comes to the end. Could be really annoying if that falls through. I think at this point we're going to have to make these big decisions. Serge Gnabry, we definitely need to get this down, way down. So we'll give him everything he wants in terms of bonuses. I mean, he would have to play and score a lot of goals to cash those in. Neither of those two things are a certainty. Let's take that down all the way to 1.8. Yeah, that's fine. What about a small release fee? Lovely. 1.8 mil. 11 mil release fee. We'll take that risk. You know, we've only got a couple of seasons left, really. So I don't think that's too much of a problem. And we probably won't get a chance to sign Calvert-Lewin, but just in case, we'll try and negotiate that down slightly as well. Just in case we've got a bit of money left somehow at the end of this. I can't see how we will, but we might. So we'll give that a go. 1.5 mil salary. So there we are. That's all being renegotiated right now. And that's pretty much all we can do for the moment. And we're probably not going to hear much in this episode. We probably won't find out any more about what our transfers are going to be. Because we've got 2 games. We start the Premier League season. And now into an absolutely massive game away from home. Our first run out in the Champions League. It is only a qualifier, but it still counts. We've only got 4 on the bench. Doesn't look great at the moment. As we said, there's going to be Shaughnessy coming out, as well as Martinez and Mendes. There's going to be 3 coming out, and then hopefully 4 coming in, which will mean 5 on the bench. It's not going to be great. It's not going to look great, is it? But, you know, this is where we are in life at the moment. Quick look at the sides today. Gomez on a downward, Lucasen on a downward as well. I think we're going to leave it as it is, though. 94 team spirit, rocking high heights there. Up against the Bromby side with a lot of 60 rated players in there. They've got a pretty decent looking attacking mid. Away from home, we want to score at least 1 and try and keep them out. Look at the new kit, looking lovely. Big fan of that. Let's take a look at the second kit as well, which is also pretty tasty. Nice. Very nice. I like the textures. But I'm loving this first kit. It's a bit of old and a bit of new. We've gone back to the actual proper Leeds United crest this time as well. Right, let's get into this. So we certainly did not expect to be in the Champions League or even having a chance in the playoff to get into the Champions League this season. After the start we had last season, we thought Bielsa could lose his job. And then that incredible run. And now look at where we are. Oh, and look at Jackie Butland's goalkeeper kit as well. Look at those arms. Those stripes on the arms. That was one of the things that won it for me. Really enjoyed the sort of fluorescent 80s-ish colours on his arms there. Everyone looking great in the Jordan brand as well. First time in the Premier League or first time in a Premier League club. If you want a Jordan brand shirt. You can see the owners are trying to make a bit of money, trying to change things up. Because we don't have any money. Let's not forget the new stadium being built now. That's why we are on a shoestring budget at the moment. But qualification into the Champions League and a run there will certainly bring the pennies in, and we need them. So that's just another reason for us to play well in this first qualifier. Let's go. Well, one back by Lutman and a lovely turn of pace. Turns defence into attack. Ball inside to Brunetta. Lots of attention, but he'll find Kluivert here. Into De Jong. Oh, smart back heel into Maxi Romero. Cuts back in onto the right foot. And Maxi back in the goals. Look, we made the tough decision to keep hold of him. But is it really that tough a decision? The amount of goals that he scores. He is also our captain. He is also only 23 years old. Still so much time to improve. But does he even need to improve? Arguably the most ruthless striker in the Premier League. And in the new kit with the lovely... Well, we really should have a Champions League armband on there. But it's going to look nice in the Premier League anyway. We've got the proper armband, which I really like as well. Smart move there. from De Jong, but that's what we love about Maxi Romero. The balance, the explosive power, and obviously, to cap it off, the finishing. Mendes into De Jong, lovely turn. That's a very clever ball into Juan Brunetta. Will he open his account here? Yes, he will. And that's gorgeous. De Jong, the creator, once again. And Juan Brunetta, well, the two Argentinians have both found the back of the net in the first half of our first game of the season. That bodes well. There's a lot of pressure on them now. More pressure, indeed, that we're not going to replace either of them. They have been given the green light from Marcelo Bielsa. They are first choice. And they need to back that up with performances. And it's a great, smart run there from Brunetta, but it's the ball from De Jong that created that one. And a smart finish in the end as well. Look at this. Just picks him out on the left foot as well. Found a lovely bit of space. Great take by the number 10 and a lovely finish. Lookman now. Half-time nearly upon us. Ademola Lookman off his wing. To step away from Iborra. Steps back in. Lookman! Great effort. And that's 3 here. Lovely individual skill there from Ademola Lookman. He needs a big season as well. Once again, another player that we're going to rely on this season. And he certainly didn't let us down last season, contributed a fair amount of goals, fair amount of assists. He is a great finisher, we know that about him. He could play as a striker if we really needed to. And that's actually what I really like about Kluivert and Lookman, is their goal-scoring wingers. As much as they like to set up goals, they both got a good finish in them. And as Lookman steps away from Iborra, not once but twice, it all looks far too easy. That is a good finish to finish off a really nice run. Oh, good ball through here. Could there be a sting in the tail? Wow, what happened there? Butland made a huge mistake. I thought he had that. He looked to be absolute favourite to get to that ball. It's far too easy in behind. Gomez couldn't get to it. Oh, Butland came out bravely. Couldn't get to it. I was going to say, with a 3-goal advantage, this tie could have been sorted in the first 45 here. They are away goals. So that's going to help us, but why give him a goal back? That's poor. Really poor, especially in the 45th minute of the half. Takes a little bit of the shine off it, but we are playing really well. And it's going to be very difficult for them to claw back 3-goal away advantage. Unless they score another now, and then we could be in trouble. So let's keep it tight. Maybe try and get a 4th. De Jong, lovely distribution there from Butland. And De Jong looks straight away from his countryman. Kluivert gets there ahead of his man, into Maxi Romero, flashes it across the goal, and wide, unlucky. Oh, mistake there. And now De Jong can play in Kluivert again. Surely Maxi Romero is the right option. Maxi with the chip! It wasn't the best chip ever. Oh, Lucassen. Putting out fires as ever. Now De Jong through the centre into Maxi. Lovely first touch. And that will kill this one off here. 4 away goals. We're done. We're going through. Surely. Maxi grabs his 2nd of the day. This is why we're keeping him. That's the sort of goal that it's just so hard to defend against. The defender had the advantage in terms of space, but Maxi uses his body so cleverly just to allow the pass to be guided into his feet, keeping the defender on the wrong side. And then from there, with the ball at his feet, very unlikely he's going to miss that. Oh, really poor there. We could have a chance for a 5th here as Brunetta brings it through into De Jong. Squares it to Maxi. Is he onside? I'm not sure he is. He is, and that's 5 and a hat-trick to start the season. As if he wanted to reward us for keeping faith, for not selling him. He's shown us exactly what he brings to this side. Yes, sure, we probably could have signed another striker, would have been in these positions and scored these goals. Can you be sure of it? So we can be sure we know exactly what we're getting from Maxi. And this is it. So there we are, full time here. And, well, you've heard of a Danish pastry. This was a Danish pasting. And Maxi Romero taking home his first match ball of the season. Looking great in the new kit. And obviously we made the decision not to sell him. And it's already paying off as we have already secured, I mean, we pretty much secured within the first half, our trip through to the group stages of the Champions League. Very, very simple here. And a dominant display, putting down a real marker for anyone who's going to come up against us in Europe. We travel well. That is what we're saying with this one. Maxi Romero starting the season off. 8.5. Lovely work. So, absolutely perfect start there. Anyone else had a good one? Dortmund in the playoffs. They've taken out young boys. Feyenoord Valencia 2-2. That's quite an exciting tie. Yeah, we're going through. We are going through to the main event. We're going to be there. So unlikely to hear anything about transfer. We might see some replies on the transfers that we went with. No, we might see them on the day of the first Premier League game of the season. Let's check who's going away with the national teams. Anyone being called up? Lookman's being called up. Great work from him. As has Jackie B. Bernardo going with Brazil. I don't know if that's for the first time. Might be. Oh, Maxi Romero's not being called up to the Argentina squad. That's insanity there. You can only imagine Maradona must be back in charge for a decision like that to be made. So we may hear back from some of our renegotiations. All of our plans could be scuppered if any of these break down. Oh, Calvert-Lewin, the only one we weren't bothered about, is the one that breaks down. So we're going to be in a position now where we can probably get this done. So, starting with 1.4 million, plus the 9.2 for Thiago Mendes, that takes us to 10.7 million. And then Martinez, that's another 7 million. That takes us to 17.7. And then, I mean, Shaughnessy, somehow Al Sadd have decided to offer us $1 million for someone whose contract negotiations are broken down. He's not going to renew his contract, which ends in 9 days. But, hey, we're not going to argue with them. We're going to take that $1 million. So we'll add that on as well. That takes us to a grand total with all sales of 18.8 million. Lovely. Salary is going to be an issue as well. So it's an extra 200,000. So we'll roughly work this out and see if it's going to work for us. Actually, we'll just go and check. So 18 million. Is that going to be enough transfer budget to get this done? I'm going to go for Chidozie over Fosu-Mensah if we can afford it. So we'll operate on that. So 2.4 for Chidozie. Oh, and 10.5 for Sessegnon. That's easily done. So that's transfer budget we're absolutely fine with. We can sign Chidozie, no problem. 2.4 million loan is a lot compared to Fosu-Mensah. But I really like Chidozie just because he's playing that right back but also central midfield role. And he's got 80 passing for both passing, or 80 plus anyway. We're going to be bringing in the big Nigerian who can play football as well as defend. He's going to be excellent, can play at centre-back as well. So it actually is going to be salaries that are going to be the issue. So between Sessegnon and Serge Gnabry, we need 2.7 million. At the moment, we're on 1.3. So we need to find 1.6 million. Is that going to cover it then? Mendes is on 1.3. Yeah, it is going to cover it. It's going to cover it easily. We've done it, lads. We've done it. We found a way. And then we're going to have a fair bit of money left as well. So we can do this now. Mendes leaving to West Brom. He's been a good servant of the club, but we needed the money. And then Martinez, he's been a great option when required, but he can leave as well. And Shaughnessy, we hardly knew you're off as well, mate. So there we are. 3.7 million in the salary budget. That's pretty decent. So it's going to be Sessegnon, the young Englishman, a really exciting signing. Perhaps not the defensive signing we needed, but in terms of an attacking talent, he can also play out on the wing, but will be our primary left back. I'm very excited about him. Free signing of Serge Gnabry, 26-year-old, so much talent. Arguably a better player than Lookman, so that's going to be a good bit of competition for him. We bring him in for an absolute snip, and that leaves us with $1 million and $8 million transfer budget. So we can definitely bring in a pretty good keeper now. Maybe if we're smart, we can bring in 2 players. I think we will spend the extra $1 million for Chidozie just because of his talents we don't really have elsewhere. Doesn't leave us with much transfer budget, but it leaves us with a decent salary budget. So, next episode is going to be trying to decide what we do with that. Very exciting times. Let's end this episode with more excitement, with a win in our first game in the Premier League against a local rival. Of course they are. Of course they are. And there is Marcelo Bielsa. We see him for the first time this season. I mean, great in real life to find out that he will be at Leeds for another season. It was weird that the announcement they made was along the lines of we're allowing Marcelo Bielsa to stay, when really, I felt like it should be the other way around. He's blessed them with staying. But anyway, up against our local rivals, and we've got all flashing at the back. That's great to see. Maxi Romero, flashing arrow. Be aware that is danger for everyone in Huddersfield. Started the season perfectly. Some poor form elsewhere, but that's fine. Huddersfield, it's not a bad team. Not a bad team. We need to be wary. And we can always be caught off guard by derbies. That does happen. We're going to try out our second kit for the first time, and they can wear their yellow kit. Let's get into it. So I haven't actually checked what the chairman wants us to achieve this season. Presumably, Champions League again. I mean, I think in terms of a target, that's quite a realistic one. I'm happy with that. if we can make it back into the Champions League next season, top 4, top 5, or even Europa League, I think that would be impressive. You know, are we going to go on an incredible unbeaten run like we did last season? Maybe we will, but that could have been an anomaly. And really, considering our finances, considering the situation we're in, considering how new we are in the Premier League or back in the Premier League, you know, consistent European spots would be a huge success. But you never know, maybe, just maybe, if we can keep the form going that we showed at the end of last season, we can hope for something more. Shh, don't say it. Let's start well, anyway, let's start strong. Dariamat now into Diakabi. Oh, Gomez, mistake there. Bernardo comes across. Oh, Butland, strong hands. Needed to keep hold of that there. There was a lot of players sniffing around for any sort of rebound. Oh, Lutman just dances away from his man there. Finds Mendes. Real danger here. That's a mistake from Stankovic. He's allowed Romero through on goal. Maxi Romero, calm as you like, on the left foot. 4 goals for him now in just over 90 minutes. Anyone in the comments who thought we should sell Maxi Romero, what's your opinion now? What's your opinion now? I mean, I suppose you all knew what he was going to do in terms of goals. And actually, maybe I should have told you about that 30% sell on. If I'd remembered, I would have done. Would you reconsider your opinion now if you were one of the sell Maxi team rather than the hashtag keep Maxi team? Awful defending there from Huddersfield. Why would you drift away from the one man who you know's the danger man? But anyway, we get our first goal here. Let's build. Pritchard now, it's a dangerous ball over the top, but Bernardo will see to that. Oh no, awful, awful. Diakabi into Moy, good effort, good save, Butland. Bernardo, bit of a clanger there. We were let off though. Oh, Brunetta, that's gorgeous. Cliver, good ball in. Maxi Romero. Oh, it's exhibition stuff here. Cliver inside to Kobos. It's very simple, but effective. Cliver into Maxi. Finds Brunetta. It's back heels galore here. Oh, he's hit the post. Brunetta. Oh, how have you not finished that off? Oh, he just took a little bit too much time there. He's so composed on the ball, is Juan Brunetta. That's unlucky. Will we be made to rue that miss though later in the game? 1-0 is not a good scoreline. De Jong, lovely little flick there. Now Maxi Romero into Lutman. Great turns of pace. Oh, he's side down there. That's got to be a red card. If it's not a red card, it's a great opportunity for Juan Brunetta. Oh, only a yellow. So Juan Brunetta now. Can he get it up and over? It's a difficult one for a left footer, but he's got this in his locker. It's up and straight into Sobi in the wall. De Jong out to Kobos. Little flick in. Looking for Juan Brunetta. Good defending. Looking for options. Finds Juan Brunetta on the turn. Oh, turns away. Still Juan Brunetta. Just as he's about to score a worldie. Oh, De Jong. Beautiful. Maxi on the turn. Don't let him do that. Oh, we're really pushing for the second. And there's some great skill on display. De Jong, edge of the box, making fools out of people. Into Maxi, you don't want to let him turn. Normally puts those away. And that's half time here, where we would have liked a second goal. We certainly pushed for one. But Huddersfield are in this with only a 1-goal advantage, and they've had chances, and it's a derby. This could end badly if we don't find a second early on in this second half. Let's do it. Oh, Diakabi's through here. Great save, Butland. Wow. Suddenly Diakabi was through on goal. We did very well to save that one. And now right down the other end of the pitch, it's De Jong. Into Juan Brunetta. Skips away from one, but can't finish it off. I mean, that just shows there the Diakabi chance, how massively we need this second goal. Bernardo picks up that loose ball. That's strong play from the centre-back. Finds Maxi into Juan Brunetta. There we go. The Argentinian connection once again. Juan Brunetta gets his first goal of the season, and it was a crucial one. The balance of this game was, feeling like it was maybe starting to turn the other way, starting to tip towards Huddersfield. We needed a goal just to kill their momentum, and that's a mistake there. Bernardo picks it up. This is a great ball. Spots the runner Maxi Romero, and he knew exactly where his partner was, his partner in crime. They've been doing it since day one for us. He's put that away very neatly. Oh, this is neatly worked. Oh, Juan Brunetta, finish it! Yes! Looks like we've been practicing being fucking cool over the summer. Because that's what that is. Juan Brunetta loving it. It's the team play that he loves. Look at this build-up. Gorgeous passing. Angles upon angles. And a great finish there from Juan Brunetta. He gets his second of the season already. And the party has already begun here for the travelling Leeds fans. We're going to beat our rival. We're going to start the Premier League season perfectly. And yeah, couldn't be happier. Ooh, and De Jong has felt a little tightness in his calf there. And that's, yeah, that's unfortunate. Patterson can come in there. Without Correa, problem is we've sort of replaced Correa with Serge Gnabry. Gnabry, I guess, can play attacking mid. Brunetta could slot in. For now, though, with this skeleton staff, we'll put in the Scotsman into central midfield. He can do that. He's a very adaptable player. Or Bernardo now, if he can get this right. There's acres of space for Lutman. Takes it down well. Oh, rides the challenge. Great work here from Ademola Lutman. Inside to Maxi Romero. What a ball from Bernardo. And that is end-to-end stuff. And that is number 4 here. I mean, we just cannot stop scoring already this season. And yeah, great work from Lutman. Raw pace down that right-hand side. I don't know where the defender was. It's a great first touch. Rides the sliding challenge from the number 2. And then into the box. Simple ball into Maxi Romero. Didn't have a huge amount to do, but he did it well. And there we go. And there we have it. An absolutely ideal start to the season. We're starting things off on a very, very positive note. Not only do we beat our local rivals, but we beat them in style. And it really was in style. And 4 great goals. I mean, we're just putting down another marker here. Marker after marker. We're saying we can do it in the Champions League. We're saying we're going to dominate the Premier League, especially against shit teams like Huddersfield, who have given us problems in the past. So it's not always as simple as that. It was a great performance there from the whole side. And Maxi Romero, unbelievable stuff. And there we are, top of the table. Let's stay there. Let's stay there for the rest of the season, shall we? And Lookman up to 82. And he's mastered the Marseille turn. That's useful. And we go straight into the Bromby game now. We've got all these new players. Maxi's up to fighter level 3. So 3 in, 3 out. It's a shame to say goodbye to Mendes. We really did like Mendes. Got a little bit of extra salary budget there. I think we can get a keeper with that, can't we? We can definitely get a good keeper with that, actually. A really good keeper. I don't think it's going to be enough for 2 players, including a keeper, but we can get a keeper. So let's see how the side lines up now. So yeah, we will have 5 on the bench with a keeper, so that's confirmed. We're going to sign a keeper by the end of the season. Would have been great to have 6 players, but we'll live with 5. So this is how we're going to line up. So at the moment, 94 team spirit. That is going to drop. Chidozie coming in on the right. I'm a huge fan of this guy. Rangy, tall, exciting, attacking, defensive. He's got a little bit of everything, really. What a player he is. It's a shame he's only on a loan. And then, well, Facundo Cobos, he's going to be co-bossing it from the bench this season as he's replaced by Sessegnon, who's actually a higher rated left back than him, even though he's much better as a left winger. He's 83 rated there, but we're going to be playing him at left back. But he'll be doing a lot of his work in the middle of the park. And he'll be using great passing, great finishing as well, great ball control, and rapid speed. Very exciting. He does lack defensive prowess. He definitely lacks ball winning, but I think there's enough there to do the job. Chidozie doesn't lack any of that. 81 ball winning. Arguably would be better than Gomez at centre-back, but Gomez isn't such a good passer. We want to have him running forward, really. That's where he's going to do the damage. And then, well, Gnabry can bring him in there. We are missing a bit of defensive cover, but Lucasen can play centre-back, as can Chidozie. Patterson covers right back. Kobos covers left back. Really what we're missing is central midfield cover, actually. Can Chidozie... Yeah, Chidozie can play defensive mid and centre mid, actually, and I'd be quite happy to have him there. Absolutely happy to have him there. I think Serge Gnabry can play attacking mid. Yeah, he's 81 rated as an attacking mid, so he's actually better rated than Brunetta. And he's a better rated winger than Lookman. We might have to look at that if things go wrong. Maybe he becomes a starter. But it's a good bench. It's a solid bench now, and with a decent keeper to bring in when Butland's on poor form or very tired. We've done okay, I think. We've done just about okay. So I think we're going to leave it there. That's pretty much it. Fossi Mensah, we're not going to sign. And then we sort of stay within the rules. The only rule that we've broken is the homegrown rule. And the fact that we've only got 15 players in our squad, but that's fine. It's fine. We're going to bring in a keeper. And before we go, we'll look for a keeper in the next episode. How long have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days till the transfer window ends. And transfer deadline day, obviously. We'll get that done. So it's Europa League. That is the goal. We won the first game. And all we need to do now is finish in 6th or maybe 5th or 6th. And we've done it. 44% owner trust still, though. That's pretty damn low, considering how good we've been. Real shame to say goodbye to Thiago Mendes. He was a good servant of the club. But yeah, I mean, we're going through to the Champions League in the next episode. We probably don't even need to play that game. And there we have it. Great start to the season. Very positive. I'm sure we all left the end of the last game wondering how we were going to pull this transfer window out of the bag. I wouldn't say we've totally nailed it. We've done much better than I thought we would. We've got rid of dead wood and we've brought in much better replacements for the positions that needed strengthening. So can't say much fairer than that, can you? Right, join me for the next episode. I'll see you in a bit.